Hello, hello, hello. I'm Corey Myers with Gravere Strategist, Traction Graphics, and of course, Level Up Business Mastery. Robert is not going to join us today. He's feeling a little under the weather. But today, we're going to talk about a really fantastic topic, and that's money mindset. Money mindset is something that any entrepreneur needs to understand, know, and follow the directions, really, and make sure that. You're being intentional about your money and not just having money, or hey, let's just have a business and we're going to sell everything and we're going to make a lot of money. We don't really know what we're going to do with it. And I see a lot of businesses, especially after the 2020 pandemic, went under because they didn't have a good money mindset. This is so huge for me, guys. I'm a big numbers guy. One plus one equals two always. So when we talk about money, I like to talk about spreadsheets and things like that. However, money mindset is really about how you feel about money, how you act around money, how you act when you're trying to get money, and things like that. So we want to make sure you're getting the money you deserve. You're also, um, treating it correctly. It's a cruel mistress if you don't treat it correctly, right? So the first thing that we want to talk about today is that we have this one-time offer going on right now. It's a one-time offer, and we got 10 days left. We're only selling 8 seats for this thing. There's my music. Um, but it's a little loud still. I think. Let's turn that down. So, so the money mindset is brought to you by this push we've got going on right now. And what it is we want to give you one-on-one consulting with the masterminding ability. Each week, we're going to do a mastermind. We're going to put you through 8 weeks of business growth. And we're just going to hammer home a lot of data. We're going to try to get some results out of each one of our clients. That's kind of what we're aiming at. We want to make sure and ensure we're going to monitor this super closely and make sure each one of these 8 businesses gets results and that's just going to be our main priority. So we've got some curriculum, we've got masterminding, but we've also got one-on-one care. With this 8-week program, these 8 business owners are going to get one-on-one with Corey and Robert at the very beginning to set goals. Then we're going to meet with you each 1 hour a week. That's 2 hours a week with a consultant to advise you on the important things in your business and to give you those answers that you so desperately need. Those are the things, that's the time to ask us anything about your business, and we will be able to answer. And if we can't answer, we'll get back to you, or we'll get you an expert that can answer during that 8 weeks. That is our priority, is to get you growth. If you would like to do that, we've got a link in the description of the live video here. Click on that, schedule a free strategy call. If you don't get into the program, even if you do, everybody gets free advice and free strategy during this session, and you get a set of advice and set of action items from Robert that will allow you to move forward in your business. And that's absolutely free. There's no commitment necessary with that, none whatsoever. So we just want to meet with you and we want to talk with you. Even if you say, hey, look, that program sounds nice, but probably not for me, meet with us and get a strategy session in. We want you to get that strategy session in. Everybody in the Level Up Business Mastery group should get a strategy session with us. I think we've got almost 1,000 people in the group now, If we had 1,000 strategy sessions with people, I think we could make some good impact for free, absolutely free. So that's what that business mastery group is for, is just for free value. So get it, get it while it's hot. Um, so we want to give you that free value. That is what this one-time offer is all about. So let's dive into the money mastery course that I've put together here. So the first thing that you need to know about money mastery is yourself. You need to know about what you do with money, without money, how you react. One of the things that I've noticed over the last 6 years, sometimes when I don't have a client, I do certain things to get a client, or to appease myself with, okay, well, I think you've worked really hard. You need a steak dinner or whatever, or what, even though you don't have a client right now, you don't know where this money's gonna have to come from. Um, so in the past, this one-on-one client thing for me has been up and down. And so that's one of the reasons that I got with Robert, and I was like, hey, we need to do an online thing, and we need to get groups of people in, and we need to help them as a group. And so, understanding what I do when I have money, when I don't have money coming in, and things like that. When I have money in the bank and I don't have anything coming in, and I'm on a glide path, how do I react then? I get really, really skeptical and don't spend anything. And I really cut back on things that I probably could use to further my business, but I cut back just so I can extend that glide path, because I have no idea how long it's going to take me to close a large client. That, these are the clients that I work for. They're paying me 50 to $100,000. They're paying me more than that in some cases, to fix these $1 million problems for them. So when I go after that client, sometimes it takes me 6 to 8 months to close the deal, because that $1 million problem hasn't been a priority for the last 5 years. Why is it a priority today? And so we've got to convince them that that's a priority. We've got to then work it up the flagpole and things like that. So understanding how I react during that period was very, very important for my money mindset. And I think it's very important for any entrepreneur to understand how they react when there's a downturn in the market, how they react when they get a lot of money. I remember being in the army, and people were getting their sign-on bonuses because we had, gone through basic, gone through AIT, got assigned to our unit. We're there for, I think, 90 days, and then we can get our sign-on bonus. And some people got like 20 grand, and they would just put rims on their car, and they would go buy new Jordans, and they would do all this stuff. And it's like, when I got mine, I went and bought a car, so that I would have a car. And then the rest of it I put in the bank, like I put a down payment on a car, and I put the rest of it in the bank. And I think there's just two different ways of thinking about money. I'm going to use that money later on to do something good with it, versus I need this frivolous thing. Of course, we've all bought frivolous things in the past. So understand yourself and make sure that you are removing mental blocks. Make sure that you're thinking about money in the right way. So that is the first thing that you need to do. The second thing is having the mindset of, how can I afford that versus I can't afford that. And what I mean by that is, how do I take a 30,000 foot view on this and say, okay, this is something I need. How do I get there? Versus, that's not something that I planned for. And so I'm just going to have to say no to it. And getting past that for a lot of people is very, very important. And the next bullet point is very, very important as well. That's why I'm putting up front. We're going to have some important stuff scattered throughout, but I wanted to get some of the top three out first. And then, how can I afford that mindset is is something that a lot of people just don't have. They just can't wrap their mind around it. And I don't understand how you can't change your mind on that. But some people just can't. So if you can't change your mind on that, you might want to think about a different career path. And I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but when you're an entrepreneur and you're owning your business and you're thinking like that, it's a real detriment to your business, to your employees, to the employees that you don't have because of this mindset. I can't afford an employee right now, so we're just not going to do that. Um, how can I afford this employee is the thing. We're looking to hire some people very, very soon. And one of the things we've done is talked about, okay, here's how much it's going to cost us to do this for the year to hire this one employee for the year. It's going to cost us this. How do we get there? How do we get to that place where we know that we're going to make this much money in a year, that we can afford that employee? And then on top of that, that employee is going to make us more money once we get them on. So, like, understanding that we want to be stable enough to afford them for a year, but we also want to get them started as soon as possible, because that's going to help us become stable. That's going to help us get there. So balancing those two ideas, understanding that that employee, that specific employee, is going to impact, and we want to hire two employees that are going to do this work for us, and they are going to boost the ROI on hiring them is going to be so high. And it's just going to be fantastic. So we want to make sure that the ROI is there. How can I afford that mindset is going to be, it was at the forefront of that discussion. The next is value based. So, guys, you you get paid on the value you create for the client. Period. Get a pen and pencil, or pen or pencil and a piece of paper, and write this down or type it on your computer. I get paid on the value I create for the client. How much value you create for the client is how you get paid. You get paid based on that value that you create for the client. I can say it a million ways, but the basis of it is it's value based. I don't get paid for the hours that I work. I work a lot of hours that I don't technically get paid for, but they result in things that I'm going to get paid for because they create value for the client that then the client pays me for. So if I create value for the client, they pay me based on that. That's not just to say that the hours or the labor or anything like that isn't valuable. It is valuable. It contributes. But what I'm doing is I'm solving $1 million problem for you, the client. I am coming in and saying, hey, we're going to improve your marketing. And by improving your marketing, we're going to earn you an extra $32,000 every month. Is that what it is? Is that it? Is that $1 million a year? I think that it's something like that. 1 million. Oh man, where's my numbers here? One. Okay, we got too many zeros there, but that's fine. 1 million. Yep, perfect. Divided by 12 months is 83. That's the number. What did I say? 38. I'm a little bit dyslexic at times. So 38 to 83. I'm going to make you an extra $83,000 a month. That's your $1 million problem. And guess what? You're going to do that for the next 5 to 10 years. That's $5 to $10 million extra in your bank account because I made you an extra $83,000 a month. How do I get you there? Right? How do I get you to $83,000 a month in revenue for your business? Now, I'm not saying that you're taking all of that home. I'm saying let's earn you that revenue, and then you're going to take the profit that comes with that revenue, right? We're going to make it profitable as well. We're not going to cost you $89,000 to make you $83,000 or whatever it was. So we want to make sure that we're talking value based. I want to solve $1 million problem for you, right? So value based is how you need to be thinking about how you sell your services. Next, we want to talk about vision. Get another pen and paper here because I'm going to drop some serious truth on you. If you keep your eye on where you're going, it'll give you serious hints on how to get there. Now, I didn't make that up. That was something that a philosophy teacher just said off the cuff one time. And I was like, that's profound. Ironically enough, a philosophy teacher was profound. But if you keep your eye on where you're going, well, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't have that vision, then you don't know how to get there. You need to plot out a path to get there. You need to make sure that that vision is turning into action items that you can use to improve your business and get you that money. That money mindset is very important. How do I do the things that are going to be revenue generating activities that will get me paid at the end of the day, right? Easy. Keep your vision in the forefront of your mind. Um, Next is daily mantras. Now, I'm not a huge woo woo shit kind of guy. Spooky stuff, not really into it. However, what happens when you tell yourself verbally and out loud in the mirror every morning something positive, some things positive, extra positive things, then what happens is your cortisol starts to go down and all of your good dopamine and all of that stuff starts flowing. Well, guess what happens when you get dopamine and you get endorphins and you get other things, right? Go take a run, get some endorphins. What happens, right? Get that runner's high after you run or when you're running, right? When you're lifting weights, when you're exercising, you get those things. Let's exercise this daily mantra thing and get those brain chemicals flowing. Guess what? You're going to be more positive throughout the day. While you're on your phone call with your client, you're going to be more positive and you're going to have a positive outlook on how the phone call is going to go. And then you're going to make that sale. Not because of any other factor, but because your brain was sending you positive vibes, right? Good things are happening. So it's more science for me than woo woo stuff. And I'm a big science guy. I'm a big brain chemicals guy. I'm a big, understanding what my mind is doing and how to react to it, and how to take my intelligence and hone it, because I think that everyone is highly intelligent in some way, shape, or form, and we just have to make sure that we're honing our intelligence down to something that's sellable to the market and valuable to the market, right? Value add to the market, and then you'll be able to sell that. And you'll be able to survive as a human, right? So, daily mantras very important. I think you can go to Google and find whatever kind of mantras you want, but it's all about the good vibes. So good vibes is something that was kind of vibes really wasn't a term for a while, and now it's kind of, I guess, or it maybe was a term back in the 60s and 70s, good vibrations, right? And now it's kind of turned into vibes. We want some good vibes. And I think that it has been an important turning point in my business career strategist, and bringing in the vibes and saying, you know what, I'm just going to be a sociopath in a way, and I'm gonna shut out the bad vibes. I'm gonna tell people, hey man, or I'm gonna just ignore people, and I'm gonna go somewhere else. My mother, who's never bought a house before, except for with my father, which they're now divorced, and she's never bought a house since. She was trying to give me advice on home ownership or home buying, and I had talked to a bunch of home buyers before I bought my first house, and I was trying to learn the process and learn everything that I could, so that because I'm a huge I'm a huge advocate of learning something before you buy about it, right? So learn why the car costs that much and how you can get away with paying less, or something like that. Why does the house cost that much? Can you get away with paying less? How do you get this done, and how do you ask for that? So let's let's break that down. My mother was giving me advice on something she knew absolutely diddly squat about. She signed a piece of paper because she was, it was kind of mandated that because she was on the bank account and the mortgage. But other than that, she had no real clue on what she was doing, it seems, back in the day. Now, my father, on the other hand, he's bought multiple houses throughout his life. He's been single. He's been married again. He's bought houses. He's bought all kinds of. He has been in business. He's done things. He would be a great person to give me advice on buying a house. However, my mother, not so great. Now, not to say I don't love my mother, but she's just not great with some of those things. And I'll talk about my brother. I'll throw my brother under the bus later. But the main point here is not to throw my mother under the bus, but just say, hey, look, you have to understand where your advice is coming from. Those good vibes and positive energy, it can come from good people that are trying to help, but they may not know about what your plight is at the time. So you need to get around people that are above you in industry, or in advancing or further down the path rather, than you, and get those good vibes and get that good information too. So my point is, don't share what you've got with everybody. Some people are employees and they're fine people, and I love them, and I'll have a beer with them. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to ask them business advice, and I'm not going to bring up my business. I'm going to just say, hey, it's doing good. And I'm going to be a little stoic about it, because we don't need to get into that conversation. It's just going to fluster me. And that goes back to understanding myself. So be around people that know what they're talking about and know what they want to do. Um, don't ignore your money. Hey guys, if you're joining us live, comment where you're located at, in the comments. Make sure, if you're on Facebook, to go to streamyard.com/Facebook and register your Facebook account. You got to just sign in with your Facebook, and it will allow me to pop your comment up on the screen with your face. So make sure you guys are interacting with the video, asking questions. I absolutely hate being the Corey Myers show. So let's interact a little bit. Grab a seat and ask your questions. I'd be happy to answer them. The next thing is, don't ignore your money. I see too many business owners that don't know anything about accounting and finance. And then what happens is the person that's running all of that embezzles from them, and their business is ruined, and they have to sell, and they have to collapse it, or they have to exit in some way. Ultimately, here's another pen and paper moment. Ultimately, the success of your business is your responsibility. And I'm sorry, we've got to turn my air conditioner back on. It's getting a little hot in here. So it's going to be a little loud, but we'll turn the fan down to halfway. So hopefully this mic doesn't even pick it up. But don't ignore your money. A lot of business owners just kind of are aloof about it. They're making money. They know they're making money. They don't know where they're spending their money. So they might be buying software that nobody uses for months on end. So let's shut that monthly subscription off until you need it. And maybe when you shut it off, you just never use it again. You find a different way. I know a lot of people don't really consolidate their software. I know for me, I could buy Canva and I could buy all these other graphic design programs and blah, blah, blah. Or I could just pay the $50 a month for Adobe and get the absolute best graphic design software that I know how to use. And it gives me everything. Adobe has Express and things like that. So I really pay attention to how I spend money, and what I spend it on, and that software that I spend it on, the people that I spend it on. And I really just pay attention to that, and I'm intentional about what I spend money on. StreamYard, fantastic app. Guess what? I'm creating value by spending the $50 a month. I'm creating value for you by spending $50 a month, right? So hopefully, in the course of that action, you learn something, and I've created some value for you, especially in this money mindset course. I think this is vital. So don't ignore your money. Understand, be intentional about your money. And if you don't know about accounting and finance, take a class. Go on Google. Hey, by the way, here's another thing to be intentional about. If you are a veteran, you can get LinkedIn Premium for free. If you're not, you may have to pay for it. I think they do have some additional programs for historically underutilized business owners and things like that, maybe. But find a way to get LinkedIn Premium, and you'll actually get LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning has a lot of things on how accounting and finance, or how to write JavaScript. Like, they have all kinds of programs, just like what I teach, but in different subjects on LinkedIn Learning. I would love to get a course and record it professionally and put it on LinkedIn Learning. I think that would be fantastic. That's a goal of mine. That's something that I'm going to do. And we're just going to do it. So right now I'm live on LinkedIn, but I don't have a course on LinkedIn. So we are going to do that in the near future. We're going to have LinkedIn stuff. But go get yourself some LinkedIn Learning. And that way you can learn about your finances and you don't have to ignore your finances. The next thing is be open to opportunities. You're going to have opportunities come along. This goes back to that, how can I afford it versus I can't afford it. Be open to those opportunities. Somebody's going to come into your town that's a public speaker that you want to hear, that's going to give you great insight, and it costs you $500 to get in the room with them. You're going to have to spend that $500. You're going to have to spend that $5,000 to take that course, to learn more about your business. You're going to have to spend that $10,000 for that employee to go get additional training so they can create value for your clients. I think we used to spend $40,000 per person to send people to automatic transfer switch training down in Texas, in Waco, Texas, I believe, is where we sent them. And so we'd have to spend 40 grand. And then on top of the 40 grand for the training, we would have to put them up in the hotel and feed them because they would be away from home and things. So they'd get that per diem and all of that. So that hotel stay and all of that, I had to arrange that for my guys to go down there and get that automatic transfer switch training so that they could work on generators better. They could, because generators have a switch and all, they have circuit boards and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And what happens is when the power goes out, it says, oh, we're no longer on the power grid. Let me switch to the generator. And when the power grid comes back on, it says, oh, we're on the power grid again. Let's switch it back over. And so that building never really loses power. It's like down and then the generator kicks on because of that automatic transfer switch. The training itself, just to repair one of those, is $40,000. And you got to do it every so often too. Like, they've got new technology, so you got to send your guy back, get certified again. We had about 30 technicians that had to do that, so we didn't send all of them. We had a certain few that were the transfer switch people. So if there was a transfer switch broken, they were the ones, but we had to pay for that training. Be open to those opportunities. Make sure that you're providing those opportunities for your workers, for your employees, providing those opportunities for yourself to learn when that speaker comes to town, or when that course crops up and you're like, that's a course I need. It's on finance and accounting and it'll cost me $150. And I got to go down to the Civic Center and we're going to learn about this stuff. Boom, done. Now you know about accounting and finance because you spent a little bit of money and you were open to those opportunities. The next thing is you're going to make mistakes. Everybody's human. NASA makes mistakes. Sometimes that's deadly, unfortunately. Sometimes Wall Street makes mistakes, and sometimes that costs people billions and millions of dollars. Um, there people make mistakes. Not everybody gets fired for their mistakes. Not everybody, loses their job. Now, with a business owner, you've got a higher responsibility than an employee because now you've got employees to take care of, and you've got clients to take care of, but you're going to make mistakes. So make sure that you think about money that way and make sure you understand that I've got to have a reserve for when I fuck up. When I took on the wrong client. I took on the wrong client. They paid me $10,000, and then they just absolutely are unsatisfied with anything that I do, but they won't give me the data that I need to do my job. And I keep requesting it. I'm like, hey, I need this, I need this, I need this. Please get that to me, and I can start. They're like, well, you haven't even started yet. Well, yeah, because I've been asking you for stuff. It's like, so I have to now return that $10,000. Well, half the time, small businesses, that $10,000 is gone. We spent it. We spent that on bills. We spent that on employees. We spent that on things, right? So where did that $10,000 refund come from to get rid of that client? You need to have that in the bank, right? Before you take on a big client, make sure that you're going to be able to compensate for any mistakes in that client's journey. You're going to be able to make sure that you have liability insurance for things if you need it. You're going to make mistakes. So make sure that you are accounting for that, right? Next, the more money you make, the more value you can create. Again, StreamYard cost me $50. Google Drive cost me X number of dollars every month. Guess what? I have to have those tools in order to create more value. I'm looking at some tools now that I'm not purchasing yet, that are going to be essential to getting more value out to more clients. And I think, again, I'm going to invest in human capital and invest in some employees to do some things for me here in the very near future. And they're going to amplify my messaging and the value that I can create by talking to more people. That's it. That's it. So we're going to be able to do that. We're also going to invest in advertisements for some things that are going to be, or we're going to continue to invest in advertisements for some things. So I need to make money to create that value, to make more money, create more value, and it's an ongoing funnel upwards or spiral upwards, right? So we want to spiral upwards. We don't want to spiral downwards. We want a downward spiral. So when you don't spend money on things that are going to create more value and create more revenue for you, create more value for your clients, which creates more revenue for you. If you're not going to spend money on that stuff, you're going to be on that downward spiral. You're going to have really a hard time helping others if you don't have that money. Again, back to I owe this company $10,000. This is an anecdote. It's not real. If I owe this company $10,000, how do I pay for that? It's got to come out of savings. I can't do that unless I make more money elsewhere, right? Somewhere I had to pay for that refund. So diversify the people that you're talking to. Make sure that you're making money everywhere that you possibly can within your core competencies of your business, and then you can actually impact more people. My brother is a kind-hearted soul, and I told you I was going to throw him under the bus. He's like, I could help so many people if I had $1 billion or blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's the right mindset. But he also hates billionaires, so it's like he's like, if I were them, I would be doing this and that. He'll criticize them, but he won't become a billionaire because he doesn't have the right money mindset. Now, I believe he's getting a little bit more capitalistic, in his old age of, I think he's almost 30 now. So, or he might be 30. Um, the old man is learning that he has to have money to make an impact. And so if I want to plant a garden, if I want to buy land, plant a neighborhood garden, I have to have money to do that. How do I get that? How do I get that money? You gotta leverage people, gotta leverage value that you create some money, then spend it on your garden for the community. Easy peasy, right? So the more money you make, the more value you can create. It's as simple as that. Elon Musk, we were talking about this last night. As a matter of fact, I have invited Elon Musk to lunch. I'm going to do it again today. But he's in Austin. I'm in Austin. Elon, come on, let's go to lunch. I'll buy you lunch. And I want to just hear him talk for a while. I just want to listen. But also, my ulterior motive is I think that if he freed up $10 million to put into a nonprofit and just started the smallest of nonprofits, then we could generate even more money by getting donations from other people. But we could start planting trees. I'm a huge outdoors person. I'm a huge national parks, state parks. Let's get outdoors. Let's get in the trees. Let's breathe that fresh air. Get away from the cities. Let's get away from the computers. And no offense to people, but let's get away from people every once in a while, right? Get out in nature. Go just be out there. Understand how small you really are. And that takes trees. So let's get some more trees planted. We're having massive fires right where I want to go hiking this year. So we're gonna maybe have to go hike somewhere else without so many fires. Might have to go to Colorado this fall instead and hike up there. We'll see what we can do. But I want to hit a 14er this year. I've never done it. I'm very capable of doing it. So let's go do it. My knees are going to be hurting. I'm going to have to ice my knees afterwards, but we're going to get it done. I want to start hitting 14ers. So we want to plant some trees. I asked Elon Musk, give me $10 million. He's not even going to, it's a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the ocean for Elon. And so he's the right person to ask. I think he wants to, help the earth and help us get to Mars. And so we're going to do that, right? I'm just going to ask him. All right. We've got two more bullet points here and then I'll let you go. But the last two here, I think this is super, 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 super important. I can be successful by how many people I impact. I can be successful in, my faith. I can be successful in a lot of things. But the real metric of success and achievement in your business, the only metric is money. So we have to look at money here's the thing. I can call 1 million people this month and talk to 1 million people, but if I don't generate $1, that was all for waste. And that's not a success story in my business, an achievement. It's not an achievement. 1 million calls, that's not a measure for success. I successfully called those people. I didn't successfully get any money out of those 1 million people because I, for some reason, didn't provide enough value to them. I didn't seem that I was going to. I didn't give them the hope and the promise and the warm and fuzzy. So at the end of the day, and I got to get this out of the way, it's too big. The real metric, the only metric, is money. And making sure that you are measuring your success and your achievement through money is a tool. It's a metric. Use it as a metric. We're not here to be greedy. We're not here to be all this other stuff. But money is a metric, money is a tool. Use the tool, leverage the tool to do things for you. One of the things it can do for you is measure achievement and success. Hey, I sold 3 cars this month. Great. How much money did you make on those cars? Well, I sold them for invoice price. So we made $0 on the 3 cars that you sold. So not only did you you got rid of 3 cars, fantastic. But you actually cost us money because if another salesperson would have sold it, they would have made $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 on each one of those cars, and we could have at least turned a profit on those. You've actually lost us $15,000 on average for those 3 cars, $5,000 on average, 15 grand. You've lost us 15 grand from our average by selling those cars. That's a metric. You understand that that salesman on that trend can't last in your business, unfortunately. Now, guess what? He sold one of those cars to me because I'm not going over invoice very high. I'm going to go a little bit over invoice because I think they deserve it. They worked, they sold the car, they get a couple $100 out of that gross profit, right? So we want to make sure that everybody's putting food on their table because I was a car salesman at one point too. But I'm going to try to get that thing as close to invoice as possible. Because money is a metric of achievement. I'm going to save money. My achievement by buying a car is to save money. Right? And last, but certainly not least, you absolutely want to, again, pen and paper time. Pen and paper time. Get a business and a personal budget made. You cannot spend business money on your personal life. Stop doing it. You'll never sell your business if you're going to be that way. You're never going to be able to grow your business if you're spending business money on personal stuff. I do believe that there's a lot of loopholes that people take. Hey, let's buy cars for the entire family and put it under the business account. Well, guess what? That is only good. That's only good if those family members are providing value towards the business. Now you can pay your kid. There's a lot of tax loopholes, right? You can pay your kids like something like 12 or 13,000 a year to work for the company. Have them take out the trash. Have them clean up the floors. It's a family business. Why not? Do it. Put 12 grand into a money market account or whatever the financial gurus will tell you. I'm not a financial guru, so I don't have a FINRA certification. So let's make sure that you're doing the things that your financial advisor tells you to do with respect to your kids and your cars and your house. But don't put the business at risk for your personal finances. If you have an emergency at home, then you need to find a way for the business to pay more so that you can pay for that emergency. Does that make sense? Or pay robustly enough. We've talked about this in our business. Robert and I have agreed we are going to have a salary cap, and we're not just going to take, commissions and profits and split it up evenly every month and just give it to each other. That's not something we're going to do. We're going to have a salary cap. And once that salary cap is reached, we're going to be very, with this business, we're not even going to have to worry about this. But the thing is, we want to make sure, and full disclosure, that's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to create value for you so that we can eventually turn this business into a profitable business. Just like anybody else wants to do. We want to put food on our tables using this business. But that business and personal budget is important. So we want to make sure that this business budget isn't getting used for personal things or anything like that. We want to make sure it's going strictly to the business. Our costs are business oriented. And we do want to make sure that we take a salary from this business and make sure that we're paid adequately. Of course, we have, ownership of this business. We have three owners in the business currently. One has a very, very small share for some investment. But other than that, really, we're just going to make sure that we have that budget, we have that cost structure, and we know where our money is going. We have to have, that we have to have that don't ignore your money kind of intentional mindset. And one of the ways that we are going to also give you some additional money mindset, additional money uh, info and advice is through our 8 week uh, course. And so, what we want to do is make sure that you guys have, um, let's see, let's get this pulled up for you. You have a great tool that you can use um, to really like understand what you're doing with your money and really get you on the right path with individual treatment. This is for everybody. This is a money kind of mindset thing for everybody. um, but what we want is we've got 8 slots open. I'm not sure. We may only have 7 slots left today. Um, Robert had lots of conversations yesterday with lots of business owners. Um, and I think, the let's see, what are we on? 10 days left. Yeah. So we want to make sure that everybody that is wants to be a everybody that wants to be in the course gets an opportunity to be in the course. But we just can't. We don't have the capacity right now, just us two, to do this much for more than 8 people. um, every week for 2 months is going to be very taxing on our time. So we want to make sure that we spend enough time doing that, and we also have enough time to create value for others. I'm going to share my screen here because we've got our 8 week one-time offer going on right now. Let's blow that up as big as possible. Schedule with us right now. Get on our schedule and get get going with your business. I mean, really, if you haven't, if you're kind of on the edge of like, hey, I need to grow, I don't know how to grow any further than this, we just keep hitting roadblocks, whatever, we will work with you every step of the way for 8 weeks. And then on top of that, we're going to give you that 12-month membership in our exclusive online learning and community. So it really is, you're going to continue to have masterminds. They're not going to be as structured as this 8 week course. However, those masterminds are going to be specifically for the people that are in the level up inner circle. And you're going to get, we've got courses in there that right now we've got some created, some that we're creating. And so we're going to have lots of courses. We're going to come out with courses all the time, and we're going to continue to fill that up. 12 months is not going to be enough time to do all of the courses and get all of the information. So, we want to make sure that there's just so much value and like really like college course level value that we're providing in these courses. We want to make sure that we're giving you that value so that you can grow your business. That's the ultimate goal for us right now. We want to be intentional about growing your business. If you need to grow your business, reach out to one of us. We'll set you up with an appointment, and we can do that. Or you can head to thegrowthconsulting.com/strategy session and book a free strategy session. We would love to talk about what matters to you and how your business can be impacted by a few action items that we can give you, giving you free value during the strategy session. You're going to talk about your business. We're going to give you some pointers, some tips, some tricks based on that information, and it's going to be individualized to you. So we are so excited for all of these strategy sessions we've already got scheduled. I think Robert's got several scheduled today. He's feeling a little under the weather, so I might have to take some of Robert's scheduled activities today. But you know, I gave him the cure. And here's pro tip: grab another pen and paper. This is medical. I'm not a medical doctor, but Jack Daniels, one of those little Jack Daniels bottles, little flight bottles, or those little tiny mini bar bottles. Get one of those. Get some Theraflu. That's it. That's all you need on the alcohol. Don't get any more. Don't get sauced, but make a little hot toddy for yourself at night. It'll put you to sleep. It'll cure your throat and your gunk, whatever you got going, because you got the Theraflu. And it works like a charm. Do that every night while you're feeling bad, and you'll get over that faster. Usually when I get the crud or whatever, if I do that, I've been doing that for 15 years now. It's been fantastic. So, or 14 years now. 14. 15. I'm 36. I was about to say. But I've been doing that for quite a while. And he's got the gunk, so I recommended him that, and I thought I'd just throw that in here at the end. Pro tip on when you get the gunk. Generate new revenue. We want you to generate new revenue. That's our entire goal. We want to find those pathways that you can open up and turn a lever and start generating revenue. Then we want to create those levers that you can turn on and off, and you can say, okay, we're booked solid right now. Let's turn that advertisement off and let's stop the flow. I just talked to somebody this morning. They are super great at what they do on getting a business. Somebody sees an ad and they call in that script that they talk to the person. The representative is going to answer. They're going to have this great script, and by the end of the call, you're going to say, I absolutely must schedule an appointment ASAP. That's what we want to do for you. He said those words this morning, and I was like, that is awesome. He actually sent that at like 3 in the morning. But yeah, so that's super awesome. And big shout out to Guy for telling me that he does that, because we're gonna have to get him on the show. We're gonna have to get him on the live to tell you guys what he does for businesses. And I'll tell you this, he's got a specific niche. So he does it for clinics and doctors and things like that. So he's got a specific niche, and he does that. That's what we want to do for you. We are professionals at doing that for businesses. Eliminate doubt in your business. Guess what? We've got economic turmoil right now. I don't want to be a fearmonger, and I've told Robert this, and we both agree. We just have to pay attention to the market. We have to be honest with ourselves. We don't want to be a fearmonger. But what we're looking at coming up in the near future is a thing called quantitative tightening with the market. Now, I don't want to explain quantitative tightening to you too much, but quantitative tightening is going to suck, and it's not going to be easy for anybody. Business owners are going to get hit hard, especially small business owners and mid-sized enterprises. You're going to get hit hard. So we want to eliminate that doubt by making your business so robust that you don't even have to worry about that stuff, right? And then we want that personalized goal setting. We're going to set that goal with you at the very beginning. We're going to say, this is what we need to set goals for. These are the pathways that we're going to take to get to those goals. And over the 8 weeks, our one-on-one talks with you, you're going to get 1 hour with Corey, me, and you're going to get 1 hour with Robert, and each week. Plus, you're going to get a mastermind session with the group of 8, right? So 8 of you are going to be there, plus myself as a facilitator. I think Robert's going to join us for a lot of them. And we're going to have a lot of people being able to pour into your cup when you have a question, right? We don't want you to rely on the experts, because guess what? Sometimes we just don't know. We want to make sure that you understand that we don't know some things. So we want to make sure that you get the best treatment by having 8 people in the room as your trusted advisors. Everybody's in the same boat. Everybody wants to get to the same level or the next level. And some people are going to know a little bit about this or know about that, and they're going to be able to contribute. So we want to give you the best chance for success in this 8 week business growth intensive. And it's just going to be super powerful for you. And then we're going to give you, we've got the access to the online learning that we can send you through. All of this stuff we can pinpoint. Hey, this is a lesson that I think you're going to find really valuable this week. Let's really pay attention to that, and let's talk about that, and let's really dig deep, because that's your business. And then over here with the other business, I'm going to say, hey, we need to pay attention to this, because this is what's going on in your business. It's going to be a thumbprint approach. We're going to make sure that you get taken care of. All right, guys, I am going to let you go. And just remember, we got 10 days left of this sale. And if you're not one of the 8, don't feel bad. We've got other things coming, but it's not going to be like this. So we want you to be the right business for this 8, and we want to. So that's why we're doing the strategy calls as a way to also like get to know you and get to know your business and see if you'd be a right fit. We're not going to recommend this to everybody. We are pushing this because guess what? We want to be exposed. We want you guys to be exposed to the knowledge that this is going on. But this isn't for everybody. Just be aware of that. We're going to continue to provide you free value in the Level Up Business Mastery group. And we want you to just understand that we're here for you. And we're going to give you as much value as we possibly can. I've been Corey Myers, and this has been Level Up Business Mastery, and it's been the Money Mindset. So I will let you go. All right.